voltage, man in the field, Lonnie, who's down at First Avenue, talking to Collective Soul. Hey, Lonnie, take it away.
Hi, this is Lonnie, and we're down here at First Avenue with Collective Soul. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Ross.
And I'm Dean.
Welcome to Minneapolis, you guys. You guys have been here before, right?
We've been here a couple times, we sure have.
Yeah. You guys, how long have you been out on tour? It's been
A couple months.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's been great. We're just churning it out, playing those tunes.
Right, good to hear. So now you guys are all originally from Georgia, right? You all grew up in that area.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up down in Georgia? What were maybe some of your musical influences you had down there?
Musical influences. We
grew up in the early 80s listening to like early U2 and REM, of course, being
from Georgia.
Were you guys influenced a lot by the Athens scene and some of the other things that were happening in Georgia at that time?
Yeah, I think we were, because they would come over and play in Atlanta also. They weren't.
Right.
It wasn't just in Athens. They'd come over to play in Atlanta, and we were close to Atlanta, and we saw that happen.
Sure. Mm-hmm. When did you guys come together as a band? How?
It was a gradual thing.
Yeah, Ed and Shane started the band in '89.
Okay.
And Ross joined a couple years later, and then Will and I joined a couple years later. After that, so it kind of happened in installments.
Right. So, and the third album just came out here a couple months ago, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. March.
And then that's been going pretty well for you guys.
Yeah, we're pleased.
Good to hear. So you've been out on tour for a couple months now. What are some of the? Give me an interesting tour story. What's something interesting that's happened so far?
Tour story.
What's the strangest moment on the tour so far?
This tour so far.
It's
a brand new one, so there aren't a whole lot of
Hey, give me a crazy story from the last tour.
Story.
You guys, in the last couple of years, you've done everything from play small clubs to play big arenas and run the gamut, right?
We had one crazy here in Minneapolis. The first time we played here, Ed got sick and couldn't. We're supposed to have 2 shows that night.
Okay.
And we played early that night, or like around 7 o'clock, and then later that night, Ed's voice was blown, and we had this packed house, and we were like, what are we gonna do? So we went and played like 4 songs without a singer, and Will sang.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, what happened was we couldn't. Our tour manager at the time couldn't say no. He had a problem with the word no.
Right. Promote the product, right? At all costs.
Ed couldn't sing, and he couldn't say no.
Right.
Our tour manager at the time. So it was like so messed up.
So it was a messed up deal, but it was pretty. It was scary.
We did.
Okay, we're back at High Voltage with the guys from Collective Soul at First Avenue. 3-4 years ago, you guys had some fairly quick success with Shine when that whole thing came out. How did that change you guys as a band, and what kind of effect did that have on you?
Yeah, we started living life on a bus. It was like that was the biggest of
You haven't
change.
seen home since, right?
Well, very little, but yeah, it was like we worked so long to get some sort of a success, and and it happened overnight when it did happen.
Sure. So is the music industry itself as glamorous as you expected it to be?
It's pretty ugly, actually.
Do you guys aspire to that whole rock and roll lifestyle? Is that
rock and roll lifestyle? We don't have a rock and roll lifestyle at all. We're not, and plus, and what makes it hard is we're not really politicians, so
right.
I don't know where we fit.
Right. Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, you guys have done all kinds of gigs along the way. You've been on the road a lot over the last couple of years. You guys have been on the road almost constantly over the last 3 years, right? You haven't been home that much. You played small clubs. You've done big arenas. You've done all ages shows, and you've done ID shows. Notice any differences? What do you guys prefer? Where do you feel the most comfortable?
Wow, we feel comfortable at all of them. We really enjoy playing, and as far as the crowd, we have just a wide variety of crowd.
Right.
Of people come to see us. It's just all ages.
You guys were you guys out with Van Halen a couple years ago?
Yeah.
There's got to be an interesting story there. There's got to be a good story buried somewhere in there.
They're really down-to-earth guys, normal guys.
They're incredible.
One day we came in, and Eddie had gotten all of us some guitars and
right,
kind of like Christmas morning for us.
It
right.
Was. That was cool.
So what was it like for you guys growing up in Georgia? Was it Stockbridge?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's not the biggest town in Georgia. That's a fairly small town in Georgia.
It's a suburb of Atlanta.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Growing up in Stockbridge, the first time you walk out on that stage warming up for Van Halen, looking at all those people, that's got to be just a nutty feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Right.
Where's Matt D, the guy with the little football? Right here! I want to hear you say Slayer on the count of 3. All right? 1, 2, 3. That was all right. That was all right. Drop that. I didn't hear him say Slayer. 1, 2, 3. Midnight drive, take a ride, alongside, East Coast Drive, getting high, so am I. But chocolate eyes, from the fuse I consume, engine zoom and engine boom, engine blowing up and blowing overflow like volcano. So far to go, I can't turn back, no cheap tobacco, got my back to go. I just start my soul, to my mind, all cruise control. It's all that action, all the niggas on my heart. Running out, running out, running out.